I wanted to do a series of videos this week, some 60-second win videos about my greatest regrets, because for most of those I've gotten to a point now where I can look back and laugh, and I think they might be beneficial to share. But the first one I want to do, and it's been the most impactful over the last 2 years, is my regret that I wasted so much time in my 20s and early 30s not dedicating time to learning. Now granted, these days there's plenty more technology that I didn't have in my 20s for sure. Things like audiobooks, YouTube wasn't what it was, and then of course social media and just all the different folks who are sharing their little tidbits of knowledge. But even when I was in college, I didn't spend as much time as I should have studying. I was a pretty good student for the first half of my college career, and I was salutatorian when I graduated with my associates. And when I went into my bachelor's program, I don't know, I guess I was a little more burnt out, and I made it through with pretty decent grades, but not as great as the first half. But there was just so much time I wasted, even up until as recent as early 2018. I wasn't dedicating nearly as much time as I should and that I do these days to learning new things. I guess I was just, I had a really tough childhood as a student when I was a kid. Most of my scholastic education from like first grade all the way to like junior high was in a foreign land, and I was forced into it, and I had to learn a new language, and I did it, but it really made me have some sort of psychological block when it came to studying. And I picked up a lot of bad habits where I just started telling myself, oh, I'm not good at memorization, I'm not good at math or whatever. And so I just started believing it. And so I became a pretty good student in junior high and high school, and then did the normal teenager thing and stopped studying and started hanging out with the cool kids and partying and all that good stuff. But I don't like to read. To this day, I don't like to read, and it's probably something that I'm going to work on. Although, now there's the alternatives. So part of my job requires me to review very thick documents, boring lawyer speak documents, whether it's a city ordinance or it's a request for a proposal with a government agency that we do business with, or I'm looking into a real estate development. So what I do is I'll convert that document into a PDF file, and I have an app called @Voice, and it'll turn any document into an audio file, and I can literally listen to it, and that's usually what I'll do when I'm in my hour commute to Long Beach every morning. I'll dedicate that time. If it's not studying, it's reviewing documents that I can literally knock out in 1 hour using technology versus a couple days of just droning over it. But I went through a period of, I'm going to call it unemployment, although I was working. I left a company that I had been with for 2 years in a management position. I just wasn't happy. I was miserable. A lot of people at that agency, I'll share that they're all miserable. Most everybody I knew who worked there is not there anymore. So I say that so I know that I'm not insane. But I left there to do my own thing, which is I went back to sales. Sales and marketing has been my thing for over 15 years. But most of my career, I would do a lot of sales where it's 100% commission work, and then I would back out and go to something safe, and then I get really bored there and want the freedom and creativity of a sales and marketing job that's contract based. So anyways, I did that in 2017, late 2017 into 2018, and I was doing my own thing, and I still didn't. I did start studying sales again when I went back into that venture, but just not as much as I should have. And I'll go back as far as to my days of working for ADT, the alarm company. I love that company. I was with them for over 7 years, and I ended in sales, and it was my fault because I was losing sales or not making as many sales as I should have, and that's my fault for not studying and perfecting my craft. And I was being a little bitch. So that's, quite honestly, I'll look back and be like, yep, you were being a little bitch because you weren't getting what you wanted. So that I won't do it while Rose is home, but I will often have all 3 of them going, if not 4. In addition, these are in addition to our regular TVs. I've got these little monitors that I've placed all over the place or mounted on walls, and I will typically have 3 different things going, especially in the morning. And I know I'm not fully paying attention to everything, but the alternative is it could be something stupid, some comedy thing that I usually watch, or music, or the normal things that people usually will have to entertain themselves. But I'll have fitness going in one room, I'll have some sort of entrepreneurship or business development going in another room, and then I'll have like fashion or something else going in another room, or sometimes a combination of the same person doing different things in different rooms, just with the idea that I'm in full immersion in brain expansion. I am, the subconscious mind is absorbing that information, whether you're consciously paying attention to every little word that's being said. It doesn't matter, you're still learning. So my rule was, that's how it had to be. Before the sun came up, it was nothing but study. And then, of course, I've got a ton of podcasts that I follow. I listen to, obviously, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Alpha M doesn't have a podcast, but the Motley Fool podcast that's all about investing and finances. Away with Words, that's a really awesome podcast that is all about language and how we use it. So the idea is that I can just keep expanding my vocabulary and just learning interesting little tidbits of information, like where words came from, or the origins, or phrases that we know. Freakonomics is amazing. I love Hello Monday. That is by LinkedIn. And recently, a buddy of mine, Attila, turned me on to a podcast called Entrepreneur on Fire, EO Fire, which is the Fire Nation podcast. That one is amazing because he's always got really great inspirational business speakers, entrepreneurs, really amazing stuff. And what's another really good one? Oh, it's called Marketing